Okay, what if your character sheet wasn't just, a list of numbers? What if it was actually a high-speed toolkit for telling awesome stories? Well, that's what we're talking about today. We are diving deep into the MDM Character Engine, a system designed to make your games way faster, way more intuitive, and most importantly, put you firmly in the driver's seat.
Let's be real for a second. Have you ever been there? The action is peaking, everyone's on the edge of their seat, and suddenly everything just grinds to a halt. It feels like you're doing your taxes. You're flipping through rulebooks, adding up a dozen little modifiers, and just waiting. Waiting for the DM to tell you what happens next. It's a total momentum killer, right? And this right here, this gets to the absolute core of the problem. There's actually a term for it: cognitive fatigue. It's that mental exhaustion you get from wrestling with clunky rules and this whole stop-and-go permission structure. Instead of being the hero in the story, you kind of become a passive audience member just waiting for your cue.
So how do we fix that? Well, the MDM system's answer is actually pretty brilliant. It replaces that slow, clunky process with something called an intuitive decision tree. The whole mindset shifts from asking, "Can I do this?" to making a choice. It's all about empowering you, the player, to just look at your sheet, see your options, and just act.
And this is what we're talking about when we say decision tree. It all starts with those 6 classic ability scores that we all know and love, right? But from there, each one branches out into 4 specific sub-abilities and 4 skill proficiencies. That's 48 core actions baked right into your character from the get-go, giving you hundreds of creative combinations for tackling any problem.
Let's actually see this in action, starting with good old strength. So instead of a vague strength check, your character has 4 really clear sub-abilities. Can you bench press a fallen pillar? That's max press. Need to smash through a barricade? That's crush and break. Heave open a stuck portcullis? Push and open. Or my personal favorite, want to hurl a goblin across the room? That's lift and toss. Each one gives a really specific flavor to your character's power.
And here is the absolute best part. See, most of these are resolved with a super simple roll under percentile dice check. You just look at your score, you know your target number, you roll, and you get an instant yes or no result. There's no stopping the game to add up a bunch of tiny numbers. It is built for speed, keeping the spotlight on the action, not the arithmetic.
Now, to round out strength, you've also got 4 skill proficiencies. Think of these as the trained applications of that raw power. So you've got athletics for things like climbing and wrestling, jumping for clearing gaps, swimming for fighting currents, and even intimidation, using your sheer physical presence to get your way. You see the difference? The sub-abilities are your raw potential, and the skills are how you've trained to use it. All right, moving on to dexterity. This is all about precision, your reflexes, and fine motor skills. And the sub-abilities reflect that perfectly. Detect noise to hear that faint click of a trap, open locks to bypass a stubborn door, disarm traps to make the hallway safe, and use tools for any kind of delicate technical work. And of course, the skills build right on top of that. You've got acrobatics for that daring tightrope walk, sleight of hand for nabbing a key from a guard's belt, stealth to move like a shadow, and escape for slipping out of ropes or a monster's grip. It's a whole toolkit of specific, nimble actions.
I think you're starting to see the pattern here, right? Constitution defines your character's toughness through sub-abilities that are literally vital for survival. You've got hit dice for your overall health, system shock for your ability to survive a massive hit, incapacitated to see if you can stay conscious through extreme pain, and even potion failure to check if your body can handle a sketchy-looking brew. And its skills are all about pushing those physical limits. We're talking endurance for those grueling marches, running for when you absolutely have to catch or escape someone, hold breath for those underwater sections, and medicine for patching up your friends in a pinch. This is your character's grit made real.
The mental stats follow the exact same logic. Intelligence isn't just a number. It's your character's capacity. So the sub-abilities define things like the highest spell level you can even attempt, your understanding of psionic sciences, your raw ability to learn a new spell, and your knack for deciphering ancient, forgotten languages. And the skills for intelligence are all about how you apply that brainpower. Arcana to understand the weave of magic, history to recall critical lore, investigation to piece together clues at a crime scene, and nature to identify that weird-looking mushroom. The key thing here is your character isn't just smart, they are smart in very specific, very actionable ways. Next up, wisdom. This is all about your intuition, your awareness, your gut feeling. Its sub-abilities often govern your magical side.
Things like the maximum number of spells you can have prepared, any bonus spells you might get, and your chance of scroll failure when you're trying to use magic that's a little beyond your grasp.
And the wisdom skills? Well, they're your connection to the world around you. Insight to figure out if that merchant is lying to you, perception to spot the hidden ambush, religion to understand the will of the gods, and survival to find your way in the wild. It's like your character's sixth sense broken down into a practical toolkit. And finally, we have charisma, the sheer force of your personality. The sub-abilities here are all about your influence on the world. The number of followers you can attract to your cause, the morale of the people you lead, your personal willpower to resist mental attacks, and your raw talent to negotiate a better deal. And the skills really round out that social tool set. Animal handling to calm a savage beast, deception to spin a convincing tale, performance to capture the attention of a whole tavern, and persuasion to win people over with sincerity. You have an entire spectrum of social tools right there at your fingertips.
So let's just put this all together and see what we've got. The before picture is that stop-and-go system, right? You're waiting for the DM, you get stuck in analysis paralysis. But the after picture? Now you have a player-driven decision tree. You get what this system calls directorial agency. You are empowered to look at the scene and figure out your own creative solution.
And this just perfectly shows the new flow of the game. It's so simple. First, you identify the challenge. Second, you look at your decision tree, all those sub-abilities and skills, and you pick your combo. Third, you roll the dice, you get a clear result. And fourth, and this is the best part, you get to help narrate the outcome. It's fast, it's empowering, and it puts you right in the middle of the action. And really, that's the whole point, isn't it? By redesigning these core mechanics, the system makes a huge shift. It's not about being a spectator anymore, just watching a story happen. You become the hero with all the tools and the agents you need to actually drive the story forward yourself. So why does all this matter? Well, the result is a game that just flows. It's faster because the math is simple and intuitive. It lowers that cognitive load on everyone, which frees up all that mental energy for what really matters, creative problem solving and telling a fantastic story together. Which kind of leaves us with one last thought to chew on. In a system like this, where every single number on your sheet is a tool for action, if your character sheet told a story, what story would it tell?